the problem I've been having with men is this, right? So like in my last relationship, here's how I put it down. So homeboy, for example, he wasn't trying to match me financially or like, you know, pulling his weight in the relationship, right? Mm-hmm. So how I look at it is like this. I think women are better at that role. Like if a man has a lot of money and a lot of success and a woman doesn't have much going on, a lot of women are good at stepping back and being like, that's the man of the house. You know, what he needs me to do, I'm going to do. If the man's like, hey, I make all this money, I need you to stay at home, watch the kids, do this, do that. A lot of women don't have an issue with it. They're like, okay, fuck it. As long as you take care of me and the kids and you pay for things, I can do this role, right?
Okay.
And a lot of these women know when to not talk back, know their place. A lot of these women will even know, like if the man's cheating and stuff, you see a lot of women still staying because they're like, well, you know, he's taking care of business, right? Unfortunately, a lot of men don't know how to play that role. So what I've told some men is I'm like, okay, well, you don't want to match me financially. You don't want to bring your weight in finances to the table. So I'll treat you like a little house husband, but that means that you're going to have to cook, clean, take care of this, basically do my beck and call. And I try to do this with homeboy where I was like, you know, like you need to drive me where I need to go, take me here, do this, pick this up. Like if I'm the breadwinner, if I'm taking care of you as an adult, your finances, your everything you need. I'm a very busy woman. So if you're going to shoot content for me all day, like I said, pick up this, pick up that. Basically, I ain't got to pay an assistant. I'll, you know, paying you through existence. But unfortunately, a lot of men can't handle that. Because I tried to do that with a homeboy, and homeboy just was like, I don't feel like a man in this position. I'm like, well, you gonna have to figure something out. Because you ain't gonna be in my house not paying no bills, eating up my food, and then also not gonna have it cooked for me. So the problem I have is if, you know, I'll take a little house husband, but you're gonna have to watch how you speak to me. And the same way a man would. If you're in a man's house and he paying all the bills, and you gonna watch your mouth, right? When he come home, you're gonna have his slippers. Well, if I'm the woman of the house and I'm paying all the bills, you gonna be my bitch, respectfully. And a lot of men don't want to be a bitch. But if you don't pay any bills in my house and you don't pull your weight, that's what you're gonna be. So I'm just being honest.
That's some real shit, because I agree.
Yeah, but unfortunately, a lot of men don't want to play that role.
They don't.
So that's my problem is you can't have your cake and eat it too. Either you're gonna, you know, pay these bills in this house or go, you know, pull your weight with me, or you're gonna have to be my housewife. And unfortunately, a lot of them don't want to do that. So,
I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
You've made it very plain and simple. Okay, if they don't get that, I don't get.
I've tried to have a house husband, but they don't want to do it. I've tried. They do it for a little bit because you're like, I have a good deal, and then they're like, oh wait, the woman's running. She be feeling real.
That's right, me. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
I mean, I don't tell you can't have both.
Right. You can't have both. And I recognize that because I'm a very strong, you know, powerful, independent woman as a single woman. Mm-hmm. But if I'm with, you know, I'm very much so about like, I want to get married, I want to have kids, I want to, you know, be like a hot housewife. Like I can totally play that role, but only if he's willing to pay his role. But you, like you said, it's either or. Like I know that I would have to step down a little bit, somewhat, to like do that whole lifestyle. Mm-hmm. I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to work on that for that lifestyle as long as he's taking care of business. But he has to be taking care of business. If he's not taking care of his end of the role, then we about to switch roles real quick, and you about to be the house husband because you're not doing what you're supposed to do, and that's not fair to me. I don't want to be one of those women who like go to work, have to work 40 hours a week, then come home, cook, take care of the kids, make sure they're showered, make sure their teeth are brushed, you know, make sure the dirty laundry's, and all he does is go to work and then come home, eat, and go to sleep. Like that's like me taking most of the load. Like now I'm doing like 80% of the work here, and you just gotta do, and then he has the nerve to come home and complain, well, I worked all day. Sir, so did I, and I still had another job when I came home. And a lot of women are living that reality. And this is what I mean, like raise your standards, because it is not fair that like some men want their woman to work full-time jobs and have, be married to him and take care of half the bills, whatever, and then also take care of the kids. And because like a lot of guys don't want to do that. They don't want to come home and change diapers and cook and clean and make sure the kids did their homework, all that. Like they don't like to do all that stuff. Like, a lot of them complain about that, but then they want 50-50 and they want these women to pay half the bills and do that other work too. That's not equal at all. That's just you taking advantage of a situation because I'm not gonna let my kids starve. I'm not gonna let them go hungry and go dirty. Like, I'm gonna make sure that they're taken care of. You know what I mean? So that just drives me insane.
Like, I wouldn't have a problem with a house husband, but the problem, like you said, it's hard to find a man that really wants to play that role because, at the end of the day, yeah, you can stay home with the kids all day. Like I said, have dinner ready. When I come home, I'm treated like a princess, because rubbing my feet, I worked all day, I'm paying the bills in the house. But unfortunately, like I said, a lot of men talk a good game about how they could do it, but they can't. Because it's an ego thing. Because they get clowned by their boys, they get called simps, they get called all this different type of stuff. So they can't handle it.
It's true.
But you want to have to bring some money,
It's true. So like in an ideal, like you make a lot of sense. Obviously, I agree with you. But in an ideal world, what are the roles in your house, in your world? Say you're with a man or whatever, you guys are living in a house together. Who's paying the bills? Who's taking care of, the kids, bath time, laundry, dishes, I don't know, whatever else makes a family, makes like a home. Who's in your ideal, like what would you ideally want from your man in that situation? What does that look like to you?
Okay, so me personally, I would never be comfortable in letting a man fully financially support me. Just that's my comfort, because I'm a control freak, and I'm a person that likes to feel like I'm very much in control and I'm very protected. I have my own personal traumas with homelessness and just kind of like not having stability growing up. So for that reason, I've been a person that's always make sure that I have my power with, especially where I live and all that. I like to own what I'm, where I'm at, make sure my name's on the property, make sure I got my, I put my money in so nobody can talk shit to me because of my own personal traumas and issues. So I would never be comfortable with someone fully supporting me because I don't want nobody throwing that in my face, But I would like an equal. Like, that's really what I want. I genuinely just want someone who works with me, like pulls their weight. 50-50 is honestly fine with me. Everybody pulls their weight. Everyone cleans the house. Everybody contributes to cooking or getting groceries. Like, I just want more of a partnership. Yeah. So that's comfortable for me. Everybody pulls their weight. But like I said, in my situation, because I'm typically in a better financial situation than most people that I'm with, a lot of people take advantage of that. And they're like, oh, well, you make more than me, or you're doing fine, so you don't need it. And when they don't see a woman struggle, they don't feel this initiative to like, oh, let me help. That's what in my experience.
That's real.
As I've seen these same men with exes that they've dated be kind of like damsel in distresses. Like, I ain't got a job, I'm working 9 to 5, but I'm making minimum wage. And a lot of these men are like, I'm gonna pay for her nails. I'm gonna pay for this. And then when it comes to me, I don't get offers for my nails to get paid for and all this different stuff because they're like, oh, she got it. She got money. She can take care of herself.
Wow.
And I don't like that because I don't necessarily need it from people. They don't offer it to me. But I really just want like that partnership.
That sounds like a great deal for a lot of guys because like, they be blowing up my comment section and my TikTok. They be blowing me up talking about, it should be 50-50. We're equal as well, all this stuff. And like, they all seem to be wanting this. I'm not a 50-50 girl. I'm sorry. Pay my bills. But like, what I mean? There's a lot of women that are.
But we still don't get 50-50.
That's what I mean. So
like I'll be honest with you. I've tried it. I've been doing that's what I've always done in relationships. And I've very rarely gotten 50-50.
That is so sad.
I've always pulled my weight plus more.
So like how, you're young, you're in the industry. Like, how did you start making money? Like, how did you become successful? Like, how did you get to this point to where you're so successful? These men trying to leech off of you. I
don't even consider myself so successful. It's not yet, but I think compared to the average person, I suppose, financially, I suppose, and like things I've done, I guess. But to be honest, like I said, my traumas fuel me. So I was a foster kid. I was homeless a bunch of times before I even turned 18. So starting as like a teenager, I just had like this determination to never depend on people and to like have my own. And I think a lot of people in life have been very sheltered, and they've had the privilege of having family to depend on, and like probably more structure than I've had. So for a lot of them, they don't have maybe that same drive of like, I have to get this done and I have to do it on my own. And when I aged out of foster care, I immediately had to depend on, random people, like guys that I had dated or knew, to friends, to random family members. And I remember being treated very badly by people when I didn't have my own. When I had to stay with people, people treat you like a dog when you don't have shit. When they know you don't have nothing, when they know you're fully dependent on them and you need them, a lot of people will talk to you like you're nothing. And I remember just never wanting to experience that ever again in life. Once I was determined that once I got out of that situation, I was not going to turn back.
If it's meant to be, then it'll be a love song.